When your closet is already overflowing, when you have more shirts than you have hangers, what's the logical next step? Is it to clean house and make some tough decisions, or is it to go out and buy a brand new jacket? It sounds like a bizarre riddle, but it's the exact, perplexing question the Toronto Maple Leafs front office is staring down right now. How can a team with a clear logjam of forwards possibly be in the market for another forward? Welcome back to the channel. Everyone, let's get one thing straight. The Toronto Maple Leafs do not have a lack of talent up front. In fact, they have the opposite problem, an embarrassment of riches that's creating some incredibly difficult decisions. As the preseason has unfolded, we're seeing a fierce internal battle for a limited number of roster spots. This isn't your typical camp competition. This is a high-stakes game of musical chairs where established NHL veterans are at risk of being left without a seat. The status quo is officially on shaky ground, and it's all because a few key players are forcing the issue. The eye of this storm centers around the emergence of young guns, most notably Auston Cowan. Cowan hasn't just had a good preseason. He's been a revelation. He has played with a level of speed, skill, and tenacity that screams, "I am ready for the NHL right now." His performance has been so compelling that it's created a wonderful, chaotic ripple effect throughout the projected lineup. Suddenly, players who seem like locks of the roster are now under a microscope. Veterans like Kaye Jarnkrok and David Kampf, reliable soldiers of this team, are no longer guaranteed their spots. Even a skilled but perpetually on-the-bubble player like Nick Robertson finds his path to consistent ice time more crowded than ever. Management now has to ask a tough question. Do we stick with the known commodities, or do we make room for the dynamic youth that's kicking down the door? This internal pressure cooker is precisely why the conversation has taken a sharp, counterintuitive turn. Common sense would suggest the Leafs need to make a trade to subtract a forward, to clear a contract, open a roster spot, and alleviate the logjam. And while that may still happen, a fascinating new possibility has emerged in league circles and expert analysis. The Leafs could use this surplus as ammunition to make a surprise acquisition. They might be looking to consolidate their assets, potentially packaging a veteran and a prospect to bring in a single, high-impact forward who brings a different element to the table. This isn't about adding another body to the room. It's about upgrading the quality and versatility of the attack. So, what kind of player would they even be targeting? The front office isn't looking for just another middle six winger. They're hunting for a specific profile. Analysts suggest they need a player with proven offensive credentials who can step in and produce immediately. They're looking for versatility. Someone who can comfortably play either wing, move up and down the lineup from the second to the third line as needed, and perhaps even contribute significantly to the second power play unit. This isn't about finding a project. It's about acquiring a Swiss Army knife. A player who can provide a consistent offensive spark on nights when the top stars are being heavily checked, and who brings a reliable veteran presence to the lineup in the heat of a playoff race. While no specific names have been publicly linked to the Leafs in any formal trade talks, the profile of potential target is becoming clearer. We're likely talking about an experienced NHLer, probably in their late 20s, with a track record of 40 to 50-point seasons. Crucially, they would need to be on a manageable contract, someone who isn't a pure rental but also doesn't acquire a massive, long-term extension. Think of a player who can seamlessly integrate into the system, someone who doesn't need a long adjustment period to get up to speed. The goal would be to trade from a position of depth to address a need for more specialized, high-floor offensive talent. This move will be about raising the team's overall ceiling by improving the potency of its secondary scoring. For now, this all remains in the realm of strategic speculation. Brad Treliving and his staff have time. They can let the final preseason games play out, and even let the first few weeks of the regular season serve as a final audition for everyone involved. But the pressure is mounting. Every brilliant shift from Auston Cowan makes a veteran more expendable. Every quiet night from an established forward adds another question mark. The franchise knows this roster, as currently constructed, is not the final product. Adjustments are coming. The tension between rewarding the young, emerging talent, and holding on to reliable veterans is palpable. And floating above it all is the tantalizing possibility of a surprise reinforcement. So, I'm turning the question over to you. If you're in the GM's chair, what's the move? Do you clear house to make room for Cowan and the kids, trusting your internal depth? Or do you package some of these valuable assets to go hunting for that one perfect, versatile forward to complete the puzzle? Drop your game plan and any realistic trade ideas down in the comments below. It's always fascinating to see the strategic side of things through the eyes of Leafs Nation. And if you enjoy digging into the tactical possibilities with us, show some support for the channel by hitting that like button. Thanks for watching.